I'm Noah Finns. Thanks for tuning in to Inside Yale Athletics, sponsored by Under Armour. We start with a story on track and cross-country runner James Randon. He didn't exactly blow the coaches away when they were recruiting him out of high school, but he's done exactly that since taking the track for the Bulldogs. James Randon's list of accomplishments on the track is as long as a Russian novel. Among them, 2 Yale track records. First Bulldog to break the 4-minute mile. 2015 Ivy League champ in the 1500, 2016 Ivy League champ in cross country, 2017 Ivy League indoor 3K champ, and a first-team All-American, first Bulldog to do that since 1991.
Yeah, he's got a few accomplishments.
And boy, is Coach Paul Harkins glad he recruited him. Fact is, Harkins was only lukewarm on Randon, who is from New Canaan, but attended a boarding school in New Hampshire.
I was kind of an unknown kind of quantity because people, I would say I'd run these fast times in cross country, but I'd run them on courses no one really understood, and they didn't know if they were short or if they just didn't know what the competition was like, and if I beat these competition by a minute, what that really meant.
He's like, yeah, you were kind of hesitant on me during the recruiting process. I was like, well, you're a small school guy. I didn't know your program that well. And yeah, had some decent times, but not a ton of huge times.
Even throughout high school, just not being able to really compete in a state championship like most high school runners are able to, or kind of a New England championship, I definitely felt like I had to prove that that I could compete on the highest level.
And that's exactly what he's done. After clocking in right at 4 minutes in the mile race twice, Randon broke the magical milestone at a race last year in Boston. His time, under 3:59.
There's nothing quite like getting a breakthrough race and beating the kind of the mark you went in, and just having the history behind the 4-minute mile just made that all the sweeter. I'll remember that for the rest of my life.
To have it be the first one to do it for your school, for a track program that goes back to 1872 is, I think, a pretty big deal.
But Harkins says an even bigger accomplishment was winning the Ivy League championship in the 1500 and then going on to nationals, where he finished among the top 8 in the country, securing first-team All-America status.
He loves to run. He loves to run. He loves to win. And he's not afraid to set high and lofty goals, and when he does that, he's willing to work with me to put the plan in place to go achieve those.
So what next for Randon after he finishes his track career at Yale? According to his coach, he's good enough to pursue a spot on the U.S. Olympic team. It will require him to earn sponsorships and a spot on a respected running club.
I think it's something that every runner dreams about, right? It's when you get into it's in some ways a bit of a niche sport, and you think well, what's the highest level I can get to? Someone might think of in basketball, the NBA, but as a runner, you always think, oh, that'd be it's my dream to go compete in the Olympics. So I would certainly say that I've always dreamed about it, but to think that I could reasonably put my life towards it is definitely not something, frankly, I thought was possible.
From the high school runner at a small school to a freshman proving himself at a nationally respected program, and now to one of college's most elite runners, Randon has always known reaching goals and dreams isn't easy. But as his coach says, he's never shied away from that hard work.
You can always say you can do something, but to actually do it is always hard.